For more than 30 years, I've been studying, exploring, and applying what I've learned about health and healing, first through athletics and fitness, and later through nutrition, chronic illness recovery, hypnotherapy, energy medicine, and holistic wellness. My journey in health and fitness didn't begin with chronic illness. It actually began with fitness and my love of movement. I always felt better when I moved, and I was a multi-sport athlete, just like my mom. She was a fantastic athlete in field hockey, basketball, and track. In elementary school, she was my basketball coach. And that's when my love of athletics began. And it wasn't until I was then 15 that I absolutely fell in love with and committed to a healthy lifestyle. Muscle and Fitness magazine became my Bible, and it was everything to me. I wanted to look the part. I had Monica Brandt as my ultimate role model, and that was my goal. I started college at West Virginia Wesleyan College, actually as a fine art major and a track and field athlete. I was a competitive thrower. I threw javelin and discus, and eventually tried shot put. That didn't go so well. And ultimately decided to change my major and pursue exercise science. I transferred to UMass Amherst, where I continued my college education, got my bachelor's of science in exercise science, and worked at a local gym. It was just a mom and pop kind of gym. It was great. I love the small town community feel. It was really such a pleasure working there with that family. And after graduating, I moved to Albany, New York, and got married. And I began working in a lot of different fitness facilities. My very first job there was at a Jewish community center. And, I had grown up in a Catholic school and then went to Methodist college and found myself in this Jewish community center. And it just kind of opened up my whole world to different types of people, culture, spirituality. It was really very enriching and eye-opening. So I really appreciated all the different perspectives, and it kind of got my wheels turning about what all was out there in the world. So throughout my career, I worked in commercial gyms, community fitness centers, hospital-based wellness programs, and even a nutrition-focused business. I worked at big names like Gold's Gym, World Gym, and different other independent facilities. Sometimes I even had a job at one gym and then worked out at another gym because there were just so many great ones in all the different places that I lived. And, again, like different experiences and kind of different vibe of the different facilities. When I moved to Florida, I was an office manager at a natural nutrition company. And then when I moved to Greenville, South Carolina, I had the pleasure of working in a hospital-based fitness facility. That was a great experience. I often worked with, post-rehab patients, and it was just a totally different setup and structure. A great learning experience for sure. Eventually I moved to North Carolina, where I was hired as a fitness director to open a gym. And the facility was pre-existing but needed a lot of renovations. And so getting all of that set up, all the programs determined and decided, and additional training and hiring staff, training them, and it was all the things. Really just just a huge, huge opportunity. And that was, it was a fitness and racquetball center. So there were a lot of new things that I got exposed to there. And of course, like being able to design a gym from from beginning to end and hire all the staff, it was a really fantastic experience. And then, throughout the years, I had been doing a lot of strength training and powerlifting through my experience in track and field as a thrower. And it was just kind of building. I moved to Atlanta, where I joined a powerlifting club and trained alongside some really phenomenal people with a great coach down there. And at that time, I was working at Turner Athletic Club at the CNN Center right in the heart of Atlanta, which was such a cool experience to have. Primarily working with the employees there. It was a corporate sports facility that was set up, and just again, like a whole other different dynamic in the industry. And as the wellness coordinator, I managed the fitness staff, served as the lead health and fitness instructor, or educator. I was an instructor also, but I was not the aerobics coordinator. That was a different job. I taught, but I did teach group fitness classes, trained clients one-on-one, and mentored new fitness professionals, as they were coming into the industry. And that's always such a pleasure too. I had, interns on a regular basis to just help young people see different opportunities within the fitness industry. So it was just a fantastic experience. And it was in my late 20s. And I was just, doing this work that I genuinely loved, and then found myself really enjoying working with women who were preparing for childbirth and pregnancy. Like, they recognized that they needed to get their bodies in better condition for the rigors of pregnancy. And then even more so, the rigors of labor. And so with that audience, that group, I just fell in love with a whole other segment of fitness that hadn't really kind of like crossed my path so much until that point. And, maybe that was part of my age as well. I didn't have kids yet, and I was in my late 20s. So, maybe it was kind of time. But, what I really loved about these women is their gratitude. Training them, seeing them improve and strengthen, and then come back, after having their babies, and just them being overjoyed and eternally grateful because they know how much stronger they felt. They know how much better their experience was from working together and just improving their health overall, preparing their minds, right? The mental state, that mind game that you go through in labor, especially if it's long, it made such a difference, a world of difference to them. And then I knew that was it for me. Like, those were my people, those women who wanted to prepare for pregnancy and childbirth. And so that's kind of how I found myself where I am now. And it's just been such an incredible journey. And for me personally, I'm so grateful for the wide range of experiences that I've had. And so that's where I come from now. I've had my formal education in exercise science through UMass Amherst. and then continued to go on and get a range of certifications through big organizations like the American College of Sports Medicine, National Strength and Conditioning Association, AFA, which is a group fitness program or organization, and just a bunch. I think I had like 7 different certifications, and it just helped really round out all the different things that I could do and bring to help my clients and the wellness facilities overall, to just build up the knowledge and experience and exposure for the health and fitness communities as a whole. From the outside, I looked like I had it all figured out. I was the fitness director or the wellness coordinator. I was the head personal trainer. I had the education, the experience, the certifications, the career, the physical strength. What I didn't realize at the time was that my own body had been compensating for all sorts of structural problems that had existed since birth. And the older I got, the more I was trying to have my body do, the more challenges I began having. I was born with club feet and did not know that until my late 30s. And so I was trying to overcome obstacles that I wasn't even aware of. And those underlying imbalances, they never completely disappeared, in my early years, even though they looked like they had and that I was functioning well. Looking back now, I can see that some of, the incredible strength I developed was compensating, right? My upper body was actually kind of compensating for what my lower body couldn't do, and just kind of caused more dysfunction overall. And for years, I believed that if I became stronger, that would just solve the problem, right? Just get stronger, you can do more and more and more. And what I recognize is that strength and function are not the same thing. And my experience, my personal experience, has allowed me to go even deeper into health and fitness and true wellness and balance and all the things that can really help people improve and live in balance. The realization changed everything and ultimately led me down a path of just studying, not just fitness, but this deeper connection between anatomy and physiology, chronic illness, nutrition, energy, and healing. All the appearances, everything I was doing right, all the education, all the things. I was doing all the things, and I was still struggling. I worked in gyms, in the hospitals, the wellness centers. I trained like an athlete. I became incredibly strong. But there was one problem. I wasn't healthy. And that's where the next chapter of my story begins.